In the realm of Greek mythology, where gods and mortals live in a world where the extraordinary is ordinary, the heroic is expected, and the line between god and mortal is often blurred, there is a tale of a hero who dared to overstep these boundaries. His name was Bellerophon, and his story is as cautionary as it is captivating, a narrative of triumph, transgression, and ultimately, tragedy. Bellerophon was no ordinary man. He was the son of a mortal and a god, a lineage that bestowed upon him a mix of divine capability and human fallibility. His father was none other than the sea god Poseidon, while his mother was a mortal woman named Eurynome. From his early years, Bellerophon was noted for his exceptional charm, courage, and a daring spirit that knew no bounds. Yet his life was far from simple or straightforward. Our hero's tale began in a shadow of violence, in a fit of rage or accident, the details of which remain obscure in the annals of mythology. Bellerophon killed his own brother, or in some accounts, a despotic ruler. Regardless of the identity of his victim, Bellerophon was branded a murderer. His act compelled him to flee his homeland, setting him on a path riddled with challenges and adventures. Bellerophon found refuge in the court of King Proetus of Tiryns. Here he was pardoned for his crime, but his troubles were far from over. In a twist of fate, reminiscent of the tale of Joseph and Potiphar's wife in biblical lore, Bellerophon found himself the object of Queen Stenebia's desires. When he rebuffed her advances, the scorned queen falsely accused him of trying to seduce her. Bound by the ancient laws of hospitality, King Proetus found himself in a quandary. He couldn't kill his guest, yet he could not ignore his wife's accusations. So he chose a solution that was as cunning as it was cruel. He sent Bellerophon to deliver a sealed message to his father-in-law, King Iobates of Lycia. Unbeknownst to Bellerophon, the message carried a chilling request, the demand for his own death. Arriving in Lycia, Bellerophon was warmly welcomed by King Iobates. For 9 days he enjoyed the king's hospitality, blissfully unaware of the deadly request he had carried across the seas. On the 10th day, when Iobates read Proetus' message, he too found himself in a bind. Not wishing to directly kill his guest, he devised a plan. He sent Bellerophon on a mission, one that was thought to be impossible to accomplish: to slay the monstrous Chimera. The Chimera was no ordinary beast. It was a terrifying creature with a lion's body, a goat's head arising from its back, and a serpent for a tail, each part capable of breathing fire. It had been laying waste to Lycia, and killing it was seen as a certain death sentence. But Bellerophon had an ally that none before him had: the winged horse Pegasus. With divine intervention from the goddess Athena, Bellerophon managed to tame Pegasus using a golden bridle. Now, with a steed that could soar in the skies, Bellerophon was no longer a mere mortal. He was a man who could fly, a man who could ascend to the realm of the gods. Emboldened, he launched into battle with the Chimera. From the safety of the skies, he struck down the beast, succeeding where all others had failed. King Iobates was dumbfounded by Bellerophon's triumph over the Chimera. But instead of acknowledging the divine favor Bellerophon seemed to enjoy, Iobates grew suspicious. He set Bellerophon on more deadly missions, one after the other. Bellerophon was asked to fight the fierce warrior tribe, the Solymi, and then to battle the fearsome Amazons. But Bellerophon, with Pegasus at his side, overcame every challenge, returning victorious time and again. Finally, Iobates had to admit the truth. Bellerophon was no ordinary man, and he clearly enjoyed the favor of the gods. Overwhelmed by guilt and fear, Iobates confessed the contents of Proetus' letter. In an attempt to make amends, he gave Bellerophon half his kingdom and offered him his daughter's hand in marriage. Bellerophon's life took a turn for the better. He ruled wisely, fathered 3 children, and enjoyed a peaceful and prosperous life. But his story didn't end there. With time, Bellerophon's successes got to his head. His mortal flaw, hubris, began to shine through. Bellerophon started to believe that he was not just favored by the gods, but that he was equal to them. In an act of arrogance that shook the heavens, Bellerophon decided to ride Pegasus to Mount Olympus, the home of the gods. This was a place no mortal was allowed to enter, a place reserved for the divine. Yet Bellerophon, in his delusions of grandeur, sought to breach this sacred boundary. Zeus, the king of the gods, would not tolerate such audacity. To teach Bellerophon a lesson, Zeus sent a gadfly to sting Pegasus. The surprised horse bucked, throwing off Bellerophon in mid-flight. Bellerophon fell from the skies, a fall that was not just physical, but symbolic too. It was a harsh reminder of his mortality, of the vast chasm that lay between gods and men. Bellerophon survived the fall, but he was a changed man. He was blinded, crippled, and humiliated, left to wander the earth alone and in misery. He lived out the rest of his days in solitude, shunned by the gods and men alike. The hero, who once soared in the skies, was now bound to the earth, his wings of pride clipped, his dreams of divinity shattered. As our tale of Bellerophon draws to a close, we're left to ponder the timeless lessons it imparts. Bellerophon's story serves as a stark reminder of the perils of hubris, of the consequences of forgetting one's place in the grand scheme of things. It teaches us that ambition, while a powerful motivator, can lead to one's downfall if not tempered with humility and respect for the natural order. In the end, Bellerophon, for all his courage, charm, and divine favor, was still a mortal. His tragic tale underscores the ancient Greeks' belief in the importance of understanding and accepting one's mortal limitations. This, perhaps, is the enduring legacy of Bellerophon, a hero who dared to reach for the stars, only to be reminded of the earth beneath his feet.